Welcome, SFL Nation, to Week 12 football. It's 43 degrees and drizzly in Portland, Oregon, but it's nice and warm and rowdy in the shipyard as the Portland Fleet host the San Diego Mavericks. Hello, everybody. I am your play-by-play commentator, Gerald Giudice, along with my analyst, Andy Hamilton. We got Deuce Fennick on stats and the commish back in headquarters. Here's the thing, Andy, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good, Gerald. I'm looking forward to this battle between these two teams. Portland, a new franchise coming out last season, has really improved this season, Gerald. They've taken some leaps and some bounds. San Diego, a new team this season, not having the best season, but certainly would look up to a team like Portland and kind of their rise in their second sophomore season as something that they would like to accomplish next year. But Gerald, don't count them out just yet. There's still one game to be played for them, and they could have the opportunity to beat this Portland team if they play their cards right.
They definitely play their cards right, but they have to get some points on the board. We'll be discussing that later on this game. If you see the coin toss here, you have Portland, the home team, in black. You have the San Diego Mavericks in their white with gold on the shoulder pads here. Getting ready to soon kick off as we see the Arizona Scorpions, some Optimus Klein, Chaos Driven, and Ashley Jackson in the chat here, wishing everybody a good luck and happy football Saturday. We're getting lined up here for the kickoff as Portland will receive the ball first. Ball's on the tee. Got 11 minutes on the clock. And here we go, folks. Game is on. Up to the 10, coming up to the 20. Nice juke move at the 20 and gets to the 25. Let's meet this Portland offense, led by quarterback Matt South, halfback Ezekiel Love. Their fullback is John Trusman. The wide receiver core of Art Bandley, John Valentine, and Benjamin Warner. The tight end is Nelson Lozano Jr., and your kicker is David John. First and 10, just outside the 25-yard line. Hand off to Love, going outside and gets 2 yards, making it second, or that's giving him 1, making second and 9.
Yeah, nice handoff off the left side to Love, and that's going to be something that this San Diego defense is going to have to face, is plenty of rush attack from Ezekiel Love. He is a threat to take it. Gerald, we've watched him take one on the last play of a half, so you got to be careful with a guy like that in the backfield.
That's the ball again, this time tackled from behind. Gain of 2. Tackle there by number 97, Denzel Maverick. And let's get to that San Diego Maverick defense. On the line, you got Joe Duncan, the aforementioned Denzel Maverick, Mufasa Kamau, and KT Slater, your linebacker core. Carson Miller, Pete Mitchell, along with Devin King. Your cornerbacks are Hoff and Clear, and your free safety is Rylan Earl, and your strong safety is Mike Ryan. As that pass going to Benjamin Warner falls incomplete, and we get the first punting unit onto the field.
Yeah, and they like to run the ball, but they will switch it up with a couple of passes there, Gerald. Incomplete to Warner, and that will set up a 4th down. Good stop for San Diego defense, one of their strengths here, and they will try to slow that down all day. Matt South, not necessarily, one of those premier quarterbacks, has struggled at times with the interception bug. So for San Diego, that's a really good first drive, right? They didn't give much up in the run game, and then they slowed down the one pass they faced. Now they give their offense a chance to get going early.
Yeah, so speaking of this offense, we're going to go to quarterback Javier Vasquez, leading the team out here. Having a decent season of 68.6% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, but does have 17 picks. So he does send the ball over on occasion. He's back to pass here on first down, moves out of the pocket, and just dumps the ball and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, you got to be really careful when moving to your right to throw backwards across your body to the left. I don't care if it's a 5-yard pass or a 30-yard pass. they're dangerous. And little Patrick Mahomes-esque there, which we've seen Vasquez do at times. He is confident in his abilities, but that time he tested one of those great linebackers that this Portland Fleet team has assembled. You know, they've had now for 2 seasons one of the best linebacking cores in the league. You got to be careful with them.
And off, and it goes to Nick Hogan, the fullback, and gains 1. Let's go over the rest of that San Diego Mavericks offense. Halfback Jalen Wells, the fullback is Nick Hoagland. Wide receiver core of Ryan Owens, Connor Weston, and Shea Carroll. The tight end Steve McMichaels and Optimus Klein. Your kicker is Nick Cappuccino. As Javier Vasquez is in the shotgun here on 3rd and 9. Go back to pressure right up the middle. Gets away from 1, gets away from 2, and gets the ball in. Almost intercepted, but it's almost complete. Wow, we had a lot of action on that play. Javier Vasquez doing his best Roger Staubach, Roger the Dodger impersonation there, Andy, and bringing up 4th down.
Oh my, he broke the first one, and I was like, there's no way that he's going to get this throw off. And then shake and bake, and he got the throw off. And then I was like, if this is caught, I mean, this is the best play I've seen all year. And for Portland, they had defenders in the way to deflect it. But, man, you got to give all the credit to Vasquez there for just keeping this game alive and that play alive to give his receiver a shot at the ball, because it was a free rusher, Gerald. I mean, you rarely see that in the SFL. So for a quarterback to make that play is incredible. And I think, you know, we have the potential to see a couple more of those. We got 2 teams, Gerald, who really, you know, have nothing to lose. They can just go out today and try and make a statement heading into next season.
Yeah, both teams not wanting to be where they not where they wanting to be for this season, but definitely Portland's definitely improving here with the record. As you see, Ezekiel Love coming in, and it's a gain of 3.
Yeah, and Love gets the most carries in the Simulation Football League through 11 weeks, and they've fed him early and often here. 3rd in yards, 4.3 yards per carry, though, 14th best in the league, Gerald. They give him the ball a lot. They're trying to make up a lot of ground with him, but every once in a while, known to break one off. Does have a little bit of the fumble bug, 4 across the course of the season, so got to keep an eye on that, especially if you're San Diego.
And coming up with gain of 2, stop there by KT Slater. Like you said, San Diego is not a defense that takes the football away. In fact, they're dead last in takeaways with 13. So San Diego doesn't create a lot of turnovers here. But let's see what happens here on 3rd and 7. Trips bunch to the top of the screen. Back to pass, and he's going to get sacked. Back in the backfield again, KT Slayer coming in for San Diego. And boy, San Diego's defense has come to play here in the first quarter.
Slayer, 4th sack of the season. He had the tackle for loss on the play right before that one. So KT all over the field now, and he's going to force Portland to punt. And I was just going to say, Gerald, San Diego may not need a ton of interceptions or fumbles. All they need to do is play solid defense. They've done a really good job of that through 2 drives.
See what happens if the offense gets a chance. Jacob Clear on the return.
Look out.
One shakes 2 and gets to the 39-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Vasquez coming back. The pass gets hit as he's thrown, and the ball falls incomplete. Now we get a chance to see that Portland Fleet defense on the line. We have Robert Brower, Derwin Nuevo, who's 2nd in sacks in the SFL with 12.5. Bernard Patterson, Gary Burney. That talented linebacker core was mentioned earlier by Andy of Mel Davis, Harry Clement, Khalil Thomas. The cornerbacks, Chris Stack, Eric Majors, and cornerback Leo Morris. Your safeties, Bob Funk and Shawn Allen. So 2nd and 10 here. There's the handoff up the middle, and there's just nowhere to go for Jalen Wells.
Yeah, first rush of the day for Wells, and he runs right into the brick wall that is Gary Clem. And we talked about it once before, Gerald, but this linebacker core for Portland, do not underestimate them. They had players like Frank Champion and Mel Davis and Amon Takes, and now they got another core that's good.
Another Houdini act by Vasquez, and this time the pass is complete out to the outside. Great catch by Benjamin Warner, but again, Vasquez got his dancing shoes on back there in the backfield.
Dancing with the Stars, dancing with Javier. I don't know if that's in bounds, but man, Vasquez did everything to keep that one alive. And at this rate, Gerald, we might be seeing that quite a bit today. And if you're Portland, you're standing there with empty hands going, what the heck, man? We got 4 defensive linemen. We've got the pressure in there. And Vasquez is just spinning and shaking and baking and getting free.
So come back there. Again, I believe that was it's not to Benjamin Varner. It's to the backup receiver, number 87. It's actually the tight end, Stephen McMichael.
To come back and get the football. And Gerald, he switched over from fullback in the offseason. And believe it or not, first catch of the year. Congratulations, Mr. McMichaels. Love to see it.
And just going and somehow gets that ball away again. And it falls incomplete. It just seems like as soon as he's back in the backfield, Vasquez has not one, but 2 black jerseys in his face.
Yeah, Portland is everywhere so far, but Vasquez doing a really good job to showcase the heart and get out of the way to try and get those plays off. I think if you are San Diego and you're trying to evaluate after an 0-11 season what you want to do, you see a guy showing that much heart, and that is a guy you have to keep on your roster.
Definitely. You see a 3rd down and 7 pass floated and just falls incomplete here. Bob Funk there on the play brings up 4th and 7. And talking about San Diego and Vasquez, their offense has had a real hard time scoring this year.
Yeah, they're doing a nice out route here on a 50 tight end corner. Funk is going to play it. They're trying to get Optimus Klein involved, which you like to see. The hard part about it is they're going against a very tough secondary. Funk specifically has 10 picks this year. Then you got Stock with 5, Shawn Allen with 8, who has slowed down a little bit, but at one point was a league leader. So really, you have to be careful if you're Vasquez, not only to avoid sacks, but also to put your throws in the right spot that are going to keep your receivers from having to then tackle a defender going the other way. So far, so clean, but still 2 drives, 2 punts, and that one they were on the edge of field goal range. Couldn't get there, Gerald. The hope is that doesn't come back to bite them, but these 2 teams dueling here early.
Definitely. Alex Domian almost pinned them inside the 5. The ball trickled to the end zone. We're going to see this 3rd drive here for the Portland Fleet. I think they're on a 1st down. It's a give to Love, and Love is stopped for a gain of 1. You see KT Slater there on the tackle, and Ezekiel Love had a great game last week in their win against Charleston. 35 carries for 207 yards.
Yeah, he's really come on as of late. Have a lot of finesse backs who have done that. We're off to a slow start this season, and then now have started to get the ball rolling. Ezekiel Love falls into that category, but so far, San Diego done their homework.
And South goes deep, and it is caught. Great pass to the tight end, Nelson Lozano Jr., and it's a 1st down for Portland.
Well, you hit him underneath with the run, and then you go over top and hit Lozano Jr. for a deep ball, and looks like the Mavericks got caught playing a little bit of man defense, and and Portland, was able to take advantage, and it's a 50-50 ball over the top. It's a nice thrown ball from Matt South, and Lozano able to haul it in for just his 29th catch of the year.
Oh, you can throw a jump ball there with a guy that's 6'6".
Yeah.
He finally breaks out from the line and gains 7. Looked like that play was going to get more, but a nice tackle coming up there by Jacob Clear.
Yeah, they have a lot of downhill secondary members on this Mavericks team that are going to be trying to get this cleaned up in the run game if they get past the front seven. Devin King is a good linebacker to help. Ron Hoff, Clear, along with Mike Ryan, are really good at coming up and making clean tackles.
Other handoff, this time nowhere to go. Met head on by Carson Miller.
Whew. Yeah, Miller was one during draft time we talked about as being, an impact player. 4 tackles for loss, 7 pass deflections in his first year in the league. And I think that's pretty good, in my opinion, for a linebacker playing on the inside. And they're doing a good job so far today against Love. Just that one run they got to clean up.
Second, and it looks like a long 3 here. Give it to Love again.
Whoa.
And once again, hit just after a yard gain. This time, it was Devin King creeping up on 100 tackles for the season.
Yeah, and we had Devin King in the pre-draft process, was one that slipped through, was not drafted last season, waited a season, was drafted the next year to this new San Diego team. And Gerald, I got to say, I didn't quite understand it. We were not in a big need for a linebacker at the point that he was drafted at. But, 1 tackle now away from 100 this season, 10 tackles for loss, 5 pass deflections, and a pick. Devin King used to have a little bit of a player in the Vancouver locker room as a non-contract, went into the SFLM, has done his part, has built a great player, and is helping this San Diego team today to slow down Ezekiel Love, which really has started churning the engines of the boat that is the Portland Fleet. And now San Diego going to try and take him down here on this offensive possession.
Vasquez in the gun, maybe to try to buy himself a little bit more time. Throws the ball, and that's intercepted, floated, and that was intercepted by number 25, Derek Majors, his 6th of the year.
Yeah, they tried that corner route again. Majors floated deep on it and actually is coming over as a second coverage. Bob Funk was one-on-one. The throw was not terrible considering it was to the outside shoulder of Optimus Klein. But when you have a guy like Majors who floats back like that, it definitely is going to affect where the ball is put. They went to the well one too many times on the tight end corner route, and they pay for it.
That's off back to pass. This was deflected. And we have some laundry on the field. Let's see what the penalty flag is on. Or who it's on, I should say.
Could be on anyone. Could be on me.
I doubt that, but go pass interference on the defense. That's the cornerback, Ron Hoff, coming over from Chicago. And that will create a first down here for Portland. The deepest drive of the field.
I was going to say, I'd love to see this. Oh, come on. That is a... I'm going to toss it back to you, Gerald, before I throw something here in the broadcast booth. I mean, that's just unfortunate. Hoff was playing good coverage. He came up to play the ball. I don't know where the receiver was running. That's really unfortunate for San Diego. They're gonna have to try and fight through a call like that on a great defensive play.
Have to try to cut Andy's mic somehow. You see the out route there, and it's caught us out of bounds inside the 10. I agree with you. That call was ticky-tacky at best. And Gene Valentine comes up with the catch there to make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Gerald, if you want some context, I may have not been as angry at a referee since an incident in season 9 with the sidelines. That's how rough of a call I think that was.
2nd and 4 is your delayed handoff to Love. Still trying to find room. And every time he gets the ball, it just seems like KT Slayer is in front of him and stops him for a gain of 2, bringing up a 3rd and 2 at the 5.
And that will set them up here, right within striking distance. This is a huge play, Gerald, because they've been stopping Love all night. Can they stop him on 3rd and 2 and hold Portland to a field goal?
Comes up, and it looks like goes Ezekiel Love.
Oh, it's close.
Wow. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage and actually spun away from the tackle. As you see, again, KT Slayer coming in on the play. And 4th and inches here at the 3. You have nothing to lose. You're 4 and 7. That's it. Put the quarterback under center. Give it to Ezekiel. We'll see if he can get it there. It's 4th and inches here, just outside the 3.
Give it to Truzman. Why not, right? You need an inch. But I think it's a smart call to leave the offense on, Gerald. I would snap it.
I definitely would snap it too. And they're trying to draw him off sides. And hey, give San Diego credit for not jumping here. And give the defense credit. Once again, they came back from that horrible pass interference call and basically just are holding Portland to a field goal here. That's a definite win for San Diego's defense.
Oh, yeah, huge win for San Diego. They have had a couple of things not go their way, right? Started, Gerald, with the interception, but then a rough penalty on pass interference. They're able to fight through both of those and hold Portland to a field goal attempt. That is really a win for San Diego, I would say.
Going to be a chip shot, 20-yard field goal here for David John. It's up, and it is good. Portland draws first blood in this game. 3-0 lead for Portland with just over 90 seconds left to go in the first.
Yeah, and again, I just want to highlight how well of a job San Diego's defense has done against the run. 11 attempts for Love, only 18 yards. That's only a yard and a half, a little over a yard and a half per carry. Gerald, the long of 7 was the big one that Love was able to rip off, which if you take that away, he's 10 carries, 11 yards outside of that 7-yard run. So hats off to San Diego's defensive coordinator. Still a long game. Obviously got to keep it up, but so far looks like they've done their homework.
Yeah, defensive coordinator as of week 8 became Liam Hammer, doing a great job here with Portland. Now they got to get their offense somehow going. They're right coming into this game. They were dead last, 12.4 points a game here. As you see, Vasquez under center on 1st and 10, single back set. Nice little swing pass out to Jalen Wells, and that's only going to go for 1 yard. Great coverage there by Shawn Allen, and I believe that was Khalil Thomas out there as well.
Yeah, Shawn Allen, one of my favorite players this season. It's not like we didn't expect him to have a good year, but really an under-the-radar player that popped up and really was balling out for Portland all year, and glad to see him doing big things.
Oh, Vasquez couldn't get away that time.
No.
As the pressure finally got to him, and that's Mel Davis. I believe that's Mel Davis's first sack of the season. That can't be right.
Brought a little inside linebacker blitz. He gets there and hits him and pays the price, and 7th tackle for loss. But yes, the first sack for Mel Davis this year.
3rd and 11 coming up. Deep drop for Vasquez. Throws the ball on, and it's intercepted again on that run. This time, Bob Funk gets his hands on the football. The 2nd interception of the game for Vasquez. And again, Portland is going to set up shop in San Diego territory.
Another tight end corner right there. I mean, you got to be careful with that. And that's the thing, Gerald, when you're putting in plays in a playbook and you're trying to decipher what a defense might give you the opportunity to do, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? You don't want to find one play and throw all your eggs on it, because if it does not work, it's going to get ugly. If it does work, right, you'll look like a genius. But if you kind of taper your expectations by putting in a couple plays that may work, you might see some more success. Speaking of success,
like you said, bang right there. Ezekiel finally breaks free and goes for a touchdown, a 24-yard run, basically untouched on the outside. And again, the turnover comes back to haunt San Diego. 1 play, 1 score.
Yeah, tides are starting to turn. Truzman didn't even block anyone till 8 yards downfield. Didn't have to. And Love, a free escort to the end zone. Beautifully ran by Portland. They are now taking over this game, Gerald, in what looked like it was going to be a back-and-forth battle in the Pacific.
It looked like it was going to be a decent game, but San Diego's defense actually finally broke for the first time in this game, as the extra point is pending here to make it a 10-0 lead here. That high snap was corralled, and it's through. 10-0 lead And this is going to be tough going for San Diego here. As I said, 12.4 points a game, the lowest in the SFL. And they have yet to have a game where they scored more than 17 points. So if you're San Diego offensively, you don't have that much more of a wiggle room here. You got to start getting some points on the board. As the kick is away, down Leo Morris at the 10, the 15, at the 20. Coming to the outside, 25. Almost breaks it. Sorry, that was Jacob Clear on the return. And it gets to the 27-yard line, and they're going to set up shop once again.
Yeah, he clears the way out to the 27, and that is where this San Diego team will get another shot at it. If I'm Vasquez, clear mind, clear heart, right? Forget everything that's happened before 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're down 10. You got to get this offense moving.
Go back, set, back to throw again. And that time he was looking for, I believe, Shea Carroll, and the ball's knocked away, incomplete. Right now, Javier Vasquez, tough start. 3 for 11 for 20 yards.
Yeah, tough sledding here so far. They've had some struggles on the underneath throws. They tried a couple over the top that got picked. I don't have advice necessarily for what area to take advantage of. The middle of the field would be the only area they haven't really attacked, Gerald, but that just sounds dangerous.
Shotgun set here on 2nd and 10. Akron has a decent pocket, gets a good throw away. Ball might have been a little bit behind, but it's gathered by Jalen Wells. A gain of 6. Coming up on the stop, there was Derek Majors, who's going to bring up a 3rd down. Right now, they're 1 for 4 on 3rd downs.
Yeah, got Wells in the flat working on a linebacker. That's a mismatch. And then they did have a defensive back come up there in Derek Majors to make the tackle, but nice play.
We're the end of one here at the Shipyard in Portland, Oregon. Portland leads 10-0. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Second quarter action underway. As you see Connor Weston there set up. We got a 3rd and 4 situation here for the Mavericks, looking get maybe their second first down game. Back to pass, has one across the middle and gets sacked. Coverage was absolutely fantastic, and then you have pressure coming up the middle. I believe that was Gary Burney. Yes, it was, with his 6.5 sack of the year. Might get another half a sack there, along with Derwin Nuevo.
Yeah, nice play there by Portland. They get off the field again, and now San Diego going to have to punt it away, which is a little bit better than a pick. Will set their defense up, Gerald, in a better spot here to try and defend.
Now you have only 30 yards to protect. It's kind of hard rather than 60, but
yeah,
nice return there, coming up there to the 38-yard line. And now let's see if that South in this offense can continue with their momentum here since the last half of the first quarter. Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers set. Matt South goes back to pass, got some pressure on the outside, hit as he's thrown, and that ball was almost intercepted there. As you see, Gabreski with the stop there, or with the deflection, is going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Man, if you are Portland, you are counting your blessings that fell to the ground. South steps up into a tackle, was somehow able to get it away, but it did sail a little bit on him. And if you're San Diego, you start rubbing your hands together going, uh-oh, here we go. Now, single back against a 4-3. Watch a run here to the near side.
And he calls, and then guess who is there again? That is Devin King. That will be tackle, I believe, number 100 on the season for that young man. Great tackle, and brings up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, congrats, young man, on 100. A little bit undersized in the draft process, but they can't measure your heart, and you have shown this season that you can make an impact for the Mavericks.
Little swing pass, and great coverage there on the outside. by number 26. I believe that's Francis Gabreski once again coming up big and nice 3 and out there. Great rebound there for San Diego's defense.
Yeah. If his reaction time was just a wee bit quicker there, Gerald could have had a pick. But a good tackle nonetheless. It forces the punt, so it's not the end of the world if you don't get to the pick there on third down.
Big player, he has nowhere to go. That's when if you're a coach, you just want to see him put the hand above the head, take the fair catch, but it's going to bring out Javier Vasquez and the San Diego defense once again. Vasquez 4 for 13 for 26 yards and 2 picks. Coming into this game, he was actually the second least intercepted quarterback with 17. Has 2 so far. I'm trying to stay clean here in the second quarter as he drops back deep again.
Oh,
incomplete. Looking for Optimus Klein.
Yeah, they were going to take a shot there, Gerald, and it's interesting. In a game like this, right, with nothing to lose in the final week of the season, if I'm a play caller and I know that the playoffs are not in my future this season, I'm throwing anything I think might work in there, right? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can find something for next season, especially for an in-division team that might be able to help us beat them next year. So you might see some stuff out of San Diego you're not used to.
Nice pass right there, and it's dropped. And that's one that Optimus Klein wishes he'd have back. Normally sure-handed, but drops him probably the best throw for Vasquez so far, and it falls to the ground.
Well, 850 receptions in his career, and he could not haul that one in. I think he might have been a little surprised that he had that much room, Gerald. The defender was playing back. Really unfortunate there.
Third down and long. Going again down the middle of the field, and it is almost intercepted again. This time Bob Funk got his hands on it, going for his second interception. And again, a 3 and out for the San Diego Maverick offense.
Yeah, they have slowed down this offense. And the thing I was going to say, Gerald, is I think both defenses at this point in the game are impressing me a little bit with their ability to slow down and stop the other team. The one thing that I think has hurt San Diego has been those 2 interceptions, which have resulted in 10 points. So we talked a little bit about how the short field makes it easier, but without the short field, their defense has been playing well for the Mavericks. So count your blessings, punt it away, and get that defense some room.
Definitely. The punt was away, and big hit there at the 40. And to go to your point, Portland only has 65 yards of total offense, and they're 0 for 5 on third down. Like you said, take away that short field, and San Diego is still in this ballgame.
Oh, very much so. I think they've struggled with the passing game. Haven't tried the run game as much as I would like. So if they can get that moving a little bit, and then they just need to find some clean passes for Vasquez. But first they got to stop Love.
Route to the right side. Great run there. Pickup of 8, tackle there by Carson Miller. And that's something that this offense could use. The big plays on first down bring 2nd and 2.
Yeah, when Love gets going, he is tough to stop. A speedy back. They could throw him a little screen here on this near side, and he could be off to the races.
Like San Diego showing blitz to come in, like you said. Move. And good Vargas, one guy to beat, and great tackle there. Again, number 24, Mike Ryan. But what a shifty move just to wiggle those hips and to get to the outside.
Oh man, look at this. Oh, you'll never see a more broken ankle in your entire life. Mama, call that man. He needs to get a new pair of socks down there on the sidelines. And Mike Ryan might have just saved that from being a top 10 play this week with his tackle. 9 yards away from possibly a top 5 play for Ezekiel Love. And Mike Ryan says, all right, that's enough.
He gets it again. This time he gets absolutely wallop behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 2. Again, Carson Miller coming up with the hit.
Yeah, Miller has been all over Love tonight. Really a leader on this linebacker core. Him and King, I just you think about the potential if you can keep those two together is very high for run stuffing.
Second and goal from the 12. Another handoff to 11. This time, he's met in the backfield again. This time, it's by number 50. That is Joe Duncan, the defensive end, and it's going to bring up third and goal outside the 10.
Yeah, I would go to the air here if I'm Portland. You've been running the ball. Maybe something in the middle of the field looks wide open here on a slant.
Trips. Stepping up in the pocket. Hit as he's thrown. As it's Denzel Maverick that makes the hit. But San Diego's defense recovers after the 43-yard run by Ezekiel Love. And it's going to hold Portland to another field goal here. Again, San Diego's defense is coming big here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and really, Gerald, again, it's one play, right? If you don't get juked out of your shoes and you're able to tackle Love there, they don't get into field goal range. So San Diego's defense is playing well. They just need a couple of stops, and they need their offense to capitalize.
David John coming out with the field goal attempt from 29 yards, and it's good, and it gives Portland a 13-0 lead. Hey, keep up with the SFL and his teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules, discover team content, and to stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is or how you enjoy the broadcast each week with the hashtag #MakeAnImpact. Thank you for your support and your viewership. Here on YouTube, 13-0 the score right now. Portland, and if you're San Diego, you've got to start moving the football. You have 27 yards of offense, 16 throws, and only 2 rushes. I think they have to be a little bit more even.
Yeah, you got to try some run plays here with Wells. I'm not sure if they'll work or not exactly. This Portland team is really good against the run. But, all things considered, you definitely want to give them a shot and at least, test and make this Portland team show you that they can and have prepared to stop those, because they've stopped almost everything else you've given a shot at.
Trip to the top of the screen. This 1st and 10 back to pass again. And again, that ball, this time it's caught, taken out of the defender's hands. This time it's Jay Carroll with the first down for San Diego, only their second of the ball game.
Yeah, that play call is tough. You put 2 receivers within 5 feet of each other and just say, hey, we're going to chuck it up and you guys have fun figuring out who it's trying to go to. It worked out there, but that's one that, may work 3 out of every 10 times. So got to be careful with it.
Looked like Shea Carroll took that right out of Shawn Allen's hands. Back got a little bit of a screen pass there to Truzman. Nick Hoagland, my bad, coming out of the backfield. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5, and actually it's a nice play there for San Diego.
Yeah, they're getting the fullback involved, Gerald, which is not something they've done too much this year. Hoagland, that's his 24th catch, did have his 16th carry earlier in the game. Definitely, a little bit of a surprise there to Portland. They weren't expecting to see a lot of Mr. Hoagland.
Up the middle, and it's stopped for a gain of about 3, making 3rd and 2. On the stop was Mel Davis.
Hoagland again, man. I just feed the guy. I mean, he's hasn't proved you wrong just yet. He's a fullback, so getting 3 yards is pretty solid right up the gut. It looks, though, like they might go to the air here. Watch Optimus Klein on a little bit of a corner route. They've had trouble with that earlier.
3rd and 2 here from the shotgun. That was across the line. It is caught for our first down. That's a great play. A little bit of a quick hitting throw there. There it goes to number 10, Ryan Owens. And don't look now, but San Diego is finally on Portland's side of the 50.
Yeah, I think that was their best play of the game, Gerald, so far. The composition of it was beautiful. They had a slant on this near side and crossing routes on the other.
Oh, that was a dangerous, dangerous throw as the defensive tackle, Gary Burney, breaks it up. I mean, that's why he's on the defensive line. He got hands of stone, but it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Oh, Bernie just floated back in a cover 8 tackle drop, and you'd love to see the big guy get his hands on it. I mean, that's just not something that happens here in this league very often. And come on, man, you got to grab that.
I can't say anything. I'm a defensive end, and I might probably would have dropped that one as well. Pump fake, trying to get away, and this time the coverage is awesome. The sack again. I believe that is Erwin Nuevo coming in. He was second with 12 and a half sacks. Just absolutely blows by tackle Benjamin Davis right there and comes up with a big sack, making it 3rd and 17.
Yeah, it sets them way out of field goal range here, so it's almost first down or bust here for San Diego.
San Diego 2 for 7 on 3rd down conversions, only having 3 first downs so far in the game, and that's not going to do it. You're going to throw it 5 yards, just underneath. It's made there by Benko, but it's well short of the first down, and the punting unit will come on again as we see Alex Tomion on for San Diego.
Yeah, it would be a 59-yarder. Nico Cappuccino is perfect this season, but you just can't ask him to do something like that. It would be the equivalent of asking, me to walk on a tightrope 7,000 feet above the canyon. I'm not saying I can't do it, but the odds are I'm going to fall flat on my face. So they'll punt it away. Probably a safe play. They're going to give their defense plenty of room, Gerald. We've said they've played well all day. It's a good job on special teams to hold them down, and I think their defense can come out with some confidence knowing that they have plenty of field behind them.
That's definitely a great punt there. Pins them at the 6-yard line. Now, if San Diego's defense can get the 3-and-out like they've been able to do here on a couple drives, you can set up your offense in great position here to maybe get a field goal or even a touchdown before the half. Let's see if San Diego's defense is up to the task. As you see Ezekiel Love in the backfield here on 1st and 10. In the shadow of their own goalpost here.
Look out.
Goes to the outside. Spin move twice. Finally brought down by number 51, Pete Mitchell. But an electrifying run for 4 yards.
Yeah, really good job by Ray Lenerl III. Didn't get the tackle, won't be on the stat sheet for it, but was able to turn Love back inside, which with a finesse back like Ezekiel Love, that's what you got to do. You got to keep them inside the tackles. And so he moves them back in and helps someone else make the play.
Coming out of the outside and runs through a tackle, and a spin move gets through one. Doesn't get through the second, but it does move the sticks for a first down. Ezekiel Love now creeping up on 100 yards for this first half.
And there's a perfect example. You let him get to the edge, and he's able to break one tackle, and now he's got some room to work, right? And there's more room outside than there is inside because there's less defenders trying to run you down on the outside. So for San Diego, they got to keep him inside, and they got to try and force him into a lot of traffic and make him make a spectacular play.
And up the middle. This time he has nowhere to go, as tripping him up by his ankles is number 99, KT Slayer, with his 6th total tackle of the first half.
Yeah, KT's really been balling today. I mean, I don't, with these players on a team, Gerald, that, hasn't played well this season, and obviously with a 1-year free agency on every player, you never know what these guys are playing for, whether it's to showcase their skills or to prove to the staff that they belong here. But Slayer is showing that he belongs on a team next year, whether it's here or somewhere else. He is a force on that defensive line today.
See Benjamin Warner across the middle, a little dump off pass here. That's South coming across. That was a great pass across the middle. No one near him, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 1 here. And as you said, both these teams, like I said, this is the last game of the season. Either one of these teams are playoff bound as we get to the 2-minute warning here at the Shipyard. It's been all Portland so far in the first half, 13-0. Watching the SFL on YouTube. 120 seconds to go here in the half. A third and a long one. And Ezekiel on the outside gets the first down and a little bit more tackle there by Carson Miller. But this is a good drive for Portland that started at their own 6.
Yeah, up to 108 yards today, over the 100-yard mark here in the first half for Ezekiel Love. That shows good things for his, not only his season, but his, stretch of games here that have been so good. Had 207 last week, and he's not done just yet, Gerald.
A pass, little flat out to the tight end, I believe. That is number 85. Kevin Bouvette with his first catch of the ball game brings up 2nd and 2.
Yeah, 8-yard route makes this second down a lot more manageable, but they're going to have to go to the air here. Well, they're going to have to go to the air here if they want to keep this drive moving towards scoring position.
Or give it to Ezekiel Love, who almost breaks it. They barely get enough for the first down. I think it's a generous spot there, but let's see what happens here. 54 seconds to go. Have 2 timeouts here. Oh, what a hit! Wow, I think that was number 58, Devin King, the rookie, coming up with a big hit. Someone's got to get back on sides here. That was Jacob Clear. Little swing pass. This one goes to Ezekiel Love. A couple of spin moves, and they finally call a timeout here. 3rd and 6 coming up just on their side of the 50 with 33 ticks left on the clock.
Yeah, I got caught in a bad formation there that maybe didn't have the pass plays to go down the field that they would have liked. So they end up having to take a timeout and reset up here for this 3rd and 6. You got to have it. You're way outside of field goal range, and they're going to spread 4 wide, Gerald.
4 wide here on 3rd and 6. Portland doing everything right except for 3rd down. They're 1 for 7 right now. And we're going to make it 1 for 8 as Art Vanderlei gets his first catch of the game, but it's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 4, and the punting team is going to come out on the field. Dominic Birkin coming out.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. You go 4 wide, and then you run an out route. Maybe it was an audible looking at the coverage, but if that was the actual play, I don't know why bother going to 4 wide to run an out route. It gives the illusion that you're going to throw deep and really, put the opportunity to score in, and then you just throw an out route on 3rd and 6 and it doesn't work.
Field and is taken up to the 18-yard line. If you're San Diego, you're 0-11, you have nothing to lose. I would just fire it downfield. Maybe give Javier Vasquez a little bit more confidence. Right now, a QBR of 7. As he is 8 for 22, 63 yards and 2 picks. As I say that, they're in a full house set. They just might be running the clock out here. There's nowhere, absolutely nowhere to go for Jalen Wells.
Yeah, I was going to counter that, Gerald. I think you run the ball, right? You haven't had Wells involved at all. 20 seconds is not much to work with, no matter how many timeouts you have. So I think you give Jalen Wells a carry or 2 and you say to him, hey, here's an opportunity. If you make something happen, we obviously have the timeouts to go to work. But if not, no big deal.
As the run sounds for the half, it's been all Portland this first half. 13-0. Andy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say, Gerald, that Portland has the scoreboard advantage 13-0, but San Diego really has the fight in them to have kept this game close. They've thrown 2 picks, and that only resulted in 10 points, both of them on their own side of the field, which means that, for this San Diego team, the defense has been your strong point. Other than the 2 picks, which put them in bad positions, you've only given up 10 points, and other than that, you've only given up 3 through, normal means, if you will. They got to get some offense going, which they have a chance here at the half to regroup and kind of get their offense in a better spot as you watch one of the picks there, which set them up inside the 30. So you got to get the offense going. But for Portland, keep feeding Ezekiel Love. He's finally starting to heat up here in this game, has been heating up late in the second half of the season. So keep him going, up over 111 yards today. Your defense has really been everywhere they need to be, so you don't need many changes there. And if you can get some pass game going too, that would be helpful. Matt South, 4 of 7, only completed 4 passes, Gerald, through a whole half, and he's only needed to complete 4. So I'd like to see Portland try a few more passing plays, but not if it's going to put them in a situation to lose this game. They'd like their 5th win of the season, as we watch the dirtiest juke move of all time. And for San Diego, you have a real opportunity here, down by only 2 scores, to get back in this game. I would say regroup at the half, figure out what worked, take advantage of it, figure out what didn't, and erase it, and get back to work.
Yeah, and it's weird because these teams are polar opposites in this game. Right now, Ezekiel Love has 22 attempts for 113 yards. As you said, Matt South has only completed 4 passes. San Diego has only run the ball 4 times. Javier Vasquez has thrown the ball 22. So it's a total flip-flop for these teams right now, but it's Portland up on the scoreboard 13-0, and San Diego will get the ball here to start this second half. And if you're San Diego, you need to get I think, to get Jalen Wells involved in this game a little bit more. 2 carries for no yards. The front from the end zone. Out to the 20, come to the outside, to the 24-yard line. As you'll see, Javier Vasquez come out. He's 8 for 22 for 63 yards and those 2 picks, as we mentioned, that were costly to this team, giving them 10 points. But like you said, it's a whole new half. Clear the board, and let's see if you can get back on the horse and get some yards here for this San Diego offense. They come on the dual back set here. Inside handoff, and that has been to Nick Hoagland, and that's a gain of 2 yards, making it 2nd and 8. Mel Davis with the stop.
Yeah, they've ran the hoagie today a couple of times. 3rd carry for Nick, 6 yards for him, and it's not terrible, right? Anytime you get positive yards on the opening play of your offensive drive, that's a positive.
2nd and 8, full house backfield behind Vasquez. This handoff goes to Wells. Wells gets the outside, stiff arms a guy, and comes close to the first down. Shawn Allen saves the first down, but Jalen Wells puts somebody down on the ground here with a huge stiff arm, and that, my friends, is Chris Stack.
Yeah, a little frustration there for the way that things have been going today for Jalen Wells. Just his 3rd carry, hasn't seen the ball much, but makes a difference with it, and now they set up on 3rd and 1. Give it to the hoagie.
You don't give it to the hoagie. They go for a throw, and he is sacked. Another sack. This time it's Mel Davis coming in with the sack. That's the 3rd sack that this San Diego offensive line has given up. And it's going to bring 4th down, and the punting unit, Alex Domian, coming on again.
Yeah, Gerald, I checked. It's his first sack that one is his 2nd sack of the season. We were talking about how the last one, it was amazing that he only has had 1 sack this season, now 2. But Gerald, I'm going to correct you. He's only had now 2 sacks in his entire career. First 2 of them coming today. Congrats, Mr. Davis. Over 300 tackles in 3 seasons. His first 2 sacks, it takes all the way to week 12 in season 16.
21 tackles for loss in his career coming into this game, along with 34 pass deflections and 2 interceptions. Like you said, gets his first 2 sacks of his career. That's Portland at their own 33-yard line. Into on the outside spin move, and he gains a 10, maybe a short 11. That's a first down either way for Portland.
It was so smooth. That spin move, it just reminded me of like a strawberry banana smoothie. I mean, look at this. See you later. That's all it takes. That's all it took. Look at this. Goodbye. That's it. He's gone. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. That is the stuff that offensive coordinators dream about, is just how smooth he gets through those spins, how he makes it look effortless, and Ezekiel Love moves the chains. Oh, Gerald, your heart just flutters when you see a move like that.
Smooth like butter, as we would say. Brings up first down.
Oh!
And this time he gets sacked in the backfield. Matt South takes a big hit from Denzel Maverick. His first sack of the ball game, his 9th of the season.
Wow, Gerald, sacked is the wrong word. You forgot the M. He got smacked right there.
Oh.
Maverick put it, look at this. Get off me. Just hits him in the, that was a face shot. Oh, poor Matt South, man, doesn't deserve that. As Maverick on the stunt makes him pay. Now it's 2nd and long.
2nd and 14 here for this offense. South under center is just a little short drop again. And again, he's going to get dropped. This time along with Denzel Maverick, number 98, Mufasa Kamau. And again, San Diego's defense tightening up here.
I think that if you're Matt South, you're arguing that was a run and you picked up a yard there. That was a run, not a sack, as those two met and sandwiched him. But he did go forward for a yard. 3rd and 13 here.
Our wide receiver set. Out back, the pass pressure coming again from the backside. This time it's caught. Todd Vandelay going down. He's at the 8-yard, 9-yard line. On that big catch. Art Vandelay, it's those big plays that's killing San Diego's defense. And there's another one here. South to Vandelay.
In a previous life, Mr. Vandelay was good at importing and exporting. He imported that pass right into his hands and exported this defense for big yardage down inside the 10. Wow, Matt South steps up in the pocket after getting clobbered twice and is able to float it over the top to Art.
Jalen Earl there with the tackle. 1st and goal from the 9 here for Portland. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Delay handoff, and there's absolutely nowhere to go as Maverick. And once again, if you have a run for Ezekiel Love and he gets no yards, number 99 is always there, Casey Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer is, there's going to be a team next year that values him highly, whether it's here in San Diego or someone else who's watching today and looking for gems. KT Slayer is going to have a good career in this league.
Another give to Ezekiel Love and absolutely nowhere to go. Again, this time Joe Duncan, the defensive end, comes up with the stop for no gain, making the 3rd and goal.
Interesting here to see what Portland comes out in. It looks like it might be a gun, which would lead me to believe it's a throw. San Diego, big chance here if they could deflect it and maybe get it to bounce in the air.
Nelson Lozano Jr. is a big target at 6'6" down here. There's the throw, and it is to someone. It looked like maybe those X's back in the back of the end zone. But either way, it's 4th down, and again, San Diego is going to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, I think what might have happened there, Gerald, was the receiver kind of broke on the route, was looking like they were going to be open, and Matt South might not have been patient enough and might have just thrown it a little bit early to where that receiver was headed, and it falls incomplete. Really unfortunate to see there. If you're a Portland fan and if you're San Diego, you're going, we did it. We did it. We did it again. We stopped them. For all intents and purposes, Gerald, 3 points is a good break. So for the Mavericks, again, you've done your job.
Yep. They'll go from 26 is good. Extends the lead to 16-0. And if you're San Diego, you're right now at the extent that you haven't scored more than 17 points in a game. Right now, you're at your limit, but it seems like their offense cannot get out of their own way here. With 6:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Kick away. Take him clear about 4 yards deep in his end zone. They're going to bring it out here to the 15. Spins and only gets to the 18. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No experience prior is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net /broadcasting. As Vasquez looks like he's changing the play up here on the line here. 6:08 to go in the 3rd quarter, down 16-0. Throws a quick slant, and it's caught, and this time, great play call there. The pass goes to Weston. And it's the first down Weston played for Portland last year.
Yeah, a little bit lucky there out of the catch here on the slant to break free from that first tackle. Nice job by Weston playing against his former team. Kind of knows where the strengths and weaknesses are on this defense after all that time practicing against them, and is able to break away. I would go back to those routes here later on this drive. It worked once. The odds are it might work again.
Back a little swing pass. This time to Wells. This time Wells can't get the stiff arm. And a host of Portland Fleet come down to make the tackle, led by Bob Funk.
Yeah, a little flip out there. It looks like the routes they ran deeper down the field were not open. Check it down to the back and couldn't get anywhere with it.
Second and 10 here from the shotgun. 3 wideouts on the field here. And it is picked off, and this might be it. Going down to the 10-5, and touchdown. Leo Morris with his first career pick 6, and it's now a 22-0 ball game.
Oh, Morris. Oh, man, Gerald. 3rd career interception. First one to the house for 6. He joins a couple of other defensive backs on this team who have scored on pick 6s in their careers, but nice job by the rookie of undercutting the route there. And it's gone. It's easy, especially on those out routes. It's very hard to throw an interception on an out route and not have it go for 6, just with the sheer amount of room. And you're asking the offensive lineman to get out there and make the play.
Yeah, those balls have got to be thrown quick, because if they can undercut that, like you said, there is nothing but green ahead of them. And that defensive touchdown puts Portland up 23-0, and it's just been all Portland all day here in Portland, Oregon. San Diego get the ball back once again here, and if you're Javier Vasquez, what do you do to shake off the interception bug here?
I think, Gerald, you just sling it, right? Look, I don't want to sound too much of a pessimist, but you're in week 12. You haven't won a game. You're down 23-0 with about halfway through the 3rd. Just sling the thing, right? Take some shots, take some opportunities. There's no difference today between throwing 8 picks and 3, right? Because if you lose, you're already down 23, right? At worst, you lose by more points. At best, you get back in this game with some deep shots. So that's what I would do. I'm not sure if the San Diego coaching staff feels the same way.
Probably not, as they actually run Wells here for a gain of 8. I think that's been their Achilles heel in this game, is not running the ball more and just dropping back and just chucking it all the time. You have to do something to keep this defense off balance here, and they really haven't been. But it brings up a 2nd and 2 here after an 8-yard run here by Wells. Is going to hand the ball off to Wells again, and he gets absolutely hammered there at the 34-yard line, but it picks up a first down for San Diego.
Yeah, nice run by Wells, and you're right, Gerald. I think they could have ran earlier in this game, and now that they're down by 23, it surprises me a little bit that they're running so much now. I mean, you're down by 3-4 scores here.
And to Wells, and this time Bob Funk and company come up with the stop. They're given a generous gain of 1, along with Khalil Thomas on that stop. Brings up 2nd and 9. I formation. 2 wide receivers set here on 2nd and 9. A little flat out there. Jalen Wells just about gets the first down. Tackle there by Shawn Allen, but a yard short. Chris Stack on the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Jalen Wells, one of your more seasoned veterans here on the Mavericks this season, was in a championship with Sioux Falls in a few seasons prior. You got to get him involved.
This time, Jalen Wells gets absolutely nothing. They're giving him forward progress to the 44. It's going to bring up 4th and about 6 inches here with 2:50 to go. I see the punting unit coming on, and I don't see why. You're down 23-0, like you said. So 0-11, why not go for it?
Yeah, I can see both sides. I think the other part that is tough is that the 23 nothing deficit here, Gerald, is not a one-score game, right? If it was 7 or 14 and we were late in the fourth, I think there would be no doubt that that would be a go-for-it play, but you cannot make up this whole deficit in one drive, so they might be trying to be smart about this, give the ball back to Portland, see if they could get them to throw a pick or fumble the ball or something quicker that will help them a little bit better than putting their defense in a rough spot, which has been, one of the ways that Portland has been able to score so quickly in this game.
1st and 10, Portland, deep drop from out south, going downfield, and it is deflected and incomplete. Looking for Gene Valentine. I want to thank Exavila47 in the chat. As it stands right now, if this game were to end at 23-0, this would be the worst point differential in SFL history for minus 211 for San Diego, and they might actually set the worst scoring offensively, and they've got to get records on that. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here. A little screen out to the outside, and it's covered great by the San Diego defense. Number 58, Devin King with the stop.
And one thing to keep in mind, when you talk about, the worst point differential in league history, Gerald, is that all it means is a good opportunity for San Diego to be better next year with plenty of room to improve.
Oh, tipped and incomplete. Jacob Clear with the stop. If that ball was about a couple yards further down the field, that would have been a completion, but it's going to bring her down. And San Diego has played tough. I mean, they're down 23-0, but their defense, I say, has played really, really good in this game.
Yeah, their defenses look good, and that's the hard part, Gerald, is when you look at a lot of these new teams, you see some struggle and you think, oh, they're a bad team, but it's not really realistic. I mean, you look at some of the teams that this San Diego team has had to face, right? They've played Florida, they played Vancouver, right? They had to play Jacksonville, they had to play Las Vegas, they had to play Las Vegas twice, they had to play Denver, they had to play Fort Worth. When you really start dissecting this schedule, right, this Portland team is one of the weaker ones they've faced, and that's not a shot at Portland. It's just a record standpoint. They faced Charleston on the road. They've really had to face some tough teams this season, and it's an area for them to improve, right? And the thing we always talk about is how the first year is so tough for a franchise, right? You're coming in with no players against all these teams with tons of players, and you're trying to build something, right? You're trying to build a culture, you're trying to build a locker room, you're trying to build a team that wants to compete. And the hard part is, in your first couple seasons, you have to fight a lot of those things in order to compete at the level that you'd like to compete at, right? It's a lot different than these teams like LA or when Fort Worth came in, when they had not Fort Worth, Lone Star, when these teams had some guys on the roster and carried some guys over from their former teams.
And that time, Vasquez cannot duck the sack. And this time it looks like it's Mel Davis with his 3rd sack, not only of the game and the season, but of his career. Having a day is Mel Davis.
Yeah, hat trick for Mr. Davis, and you love to see that. I mean, love to see players, breaking records and looking good for, their career stats. And for Vasquez and this San Diego team, there's a lot to build off heading into next year. I think they'll be excited about the opportunity ahead of them to build.
Almost brought in there by the wide receiver Ryan Owens. Big hit there by Shawn Allen. As you see, the punting unit coming out again for San Diego. Now 2 of 11 on 3rd downs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pass. It hits the receiver in the hands. Owens just can't haul it in. There's not much more to say about that, Gerald. I mean, they put it on him. And, you know, as time goes on, as Ryan Owens improves as a player, that'll be a pass that he'll be able to haul in one day. On this day, April 10th, 2021, he just was not able to collect it.
Running situation again with just 35 ticks on the clock here in this third quarter. Punt away some decent hang time, 4.2 on the hang time, and it's taken to the 25. The SFL's third season of minor league action starts this Friday, coming up April 16th, the day before Wild Card Saturday. All new players will take the field for the first time as they prepare themselves to be drafted into the pros. When they get on the field, it's never too late. Visit www.simulationfl.net to join our Discord community, create a player, and start building your career today. As Matt South comes back to pass, it's a quick out, and it's caught to the near sidelines. Valentine with the grab, brings up 2nd and 3.
Got Valentine and Love on this offense for Portland. A lot of room for them to build too, Gerald. You know, a season that's close, right? If they end up winning this game, they'll be 5-7, and 6-6 is kind of the mark of in the hunt for the playoffs. So, you know, there's room for them to improve as well.
Definitely room for them to improve as we come to the end of the third quarter. Put your 4s and your 86s up in the chat. Portland up 23-0. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Coming up here on a 2nd and 3. Yeah, tackle made. Wow. Right there. Great tackle there by Denzel Maverick to hit Ezekiel Love in the backfield to bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Maverick got back there, which is one thing to do, right? It's impressive to get back into the backfield to make a play like that. It's even more impressive to actually make the tackle for loss. So big play there by Maverick, sets up 3rd.
3rd and 6. South back to pass, gets hit as he's getting ready to throw by Mufasa Kamau. And again, San Diego's defense stops them on 3rd down. Portland is 2 of 12 on 3rd down. Both these teams cannot get a 3rd down conversion here. Combined 4 for 23 as the punting unit comes on for Portland. And 33 to go on the ball game as Birkin gets the punt away. No pressure, and a fair catch is called for. Tomorrow on Next Level Sports and for the fans, don't miss a heart-pounding action of SFL football. The final full day of the regular season coverage on For the Fans starts early at 10:30 Eastern Time in the morning with Florida and Jacksonville, followed by Fort Worth and Lone Star at 12:30. Then the action shifts to Next Level Sports at 2:30 with Los Angeles battling Vancouver for the Pacific Division, along with other games. The SFL on Next Level Sports and for the fans. We put the fan in fantasy as you see that pass from Javier Vasquez into the back of Derek Majors and falls incomplete. Second and 10 from the 32. Vasquez from the shotgun. Wells to his right. He's back to pass. He's going to throw to Wells. That gets away from the first tackle, but not the second. As Mel Davis comes up there with the tackle, his 4th tackle for loss of the game. Yeah,
and it's interesting, Gerald. A lot of the routes for the Mavericks, they're cut off, right? They had some hitch routes there. The thing you don't want to do with your star receivers is have them stop, right? You want to have them crossing or running a post or something that continues to move down the field.
On the field, and that ball is intercepted. This time it's Shawn Allen, number 9 on the season for him. The 4th interception thrown by Javier Vasquez. That ball was just thrown a little short, looking for Owens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good route, right? He's over the top of him. It's a deep ball. and he just threw the ball underneath, and Allen was able to take advantage. But those are the type of routes you want to see from some of your star receivers, or ones that don't necessarily have an endpoint, right? Because especially with a quarterback like Vasquez, who's danced out of pressure a couple times today, you want to give him the opportunity to find someone, right? And if all your receivers are stopped, just turned around staring at him, the odds are they're not going to be any more open than they are right there. And how was that caught, Gerald?
Pinball wizard there hit the hands of 3 San Diego defenders and falls safely into the waiting hands of Benjamin Warner for a first down. And if that doesn't show you the game that San Diego has had today, like I said, 3 defenders with their hands on the football, and it still finds its way in. And now we have an offside call here on the defensive line of San Diego. It's just falling apart here.
Man, Warner he's been thrown to twice, Gerald. Couldn't collect either of the throws that were sent his way, but was able to collect one that was not sent his way. Don't often see that.
KT Slayer, with one of his rare mistakes in this game, jumps off sides. They're going to take that penalty to make it 1st and 5. If you're Portland, you're just going to give the ball to Love here, I think, and maybe run the clock out here. I think you're just on the outskirts of David John's range here. 1st and 5, single back, big set here for Portland. Give it to Ezekiel Love, and he's absolutely hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Tackle made by Carson Miller, bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, they have held Love in check in that third quarter. Only has gained 6 yards since his 111-yard first half. So this San Diego team is kind of buckling their chin straps down here.
2nd and 5 again. And there's nowhere to go. Again, KT Slayer along with Joe Duncan there on the stop. Loss of 4 on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. And that is, I think, push them out of field goal range for right now. They got to gain, I'd say, maybe 5, maybe 6 yards to get David John's range.
Yeah, if contract negotiations with KT Slayer have not already started, they need to start today at 3 o'clock, right when this game ends. Optimist, I know you're watching. Get him on the phone.
Oh, that's a great throw there. The catch made by number 85 again. It was Gavin Bovett with his 2nd catch of the ball game. This time just in front of Jacob Clear, and it moves the chains for Portland. The 3rd conversion of a first down, their 11th first down of the game.
Bouvet able to hold on there. Lucky that Clear wasn't able to knock him off his feet. And it brings up a new set of downs here at the 27.
Again, nowhere to go for Ezekiel Love as Carson Miller steps up and hits him in the backfield. Loss of 2.
Yeah, if I'm Optimus Klein and this San Diego front office, I get, I would want to get my pieces locked down, especially this defensive side of the ball who has played really well today. KT Slayer, Denzel Maverick, Devin King, Carson Miller, and then some of the secondary, and try and, convince them that, hey, we have seen, what we need to improve on. We're prepared to improve on it. And you are a big part of that, because this defense, Gerald, has played really well today. Despite the scoreline, they've been put in some really tough situations. And if you can just get some offensive pieces to go, or improve the ones you have to go with this defense, you could see a really good team here in a few seasons.
I agree. You definitely got to get some of these defenders to pen to paper. Because again, another out route going to, and this time it's Valentine with the first down at the 10. I agree with you. You have hit me. If you're an Optimus Klein, after this game, you get pen to paper to KT Slayer. In fact, he doesn't even come off the field and takes off his pads before you hand him a contract. He's having a great, along with Devin King, Carson Miller, Denzel Maverick. I mean, you do have the paces of this defense, and your defense has only given up 1 touchdown in this game and 3 field goals. So definitely your defense is definitely a sure point here. Did you see it there? Picked off! The first interception of the game for Matt South. And as we're talking about the defense, San Diego comes through again. This time is strong safety Mike Ryan, his 4th interception of the season and only the 14th takeaway for San Diego.
Yeah, athletic one for Mike Ryan there. 4th of the season for him, 4th of his young career. The rookie is able to collect it. And that, again, Gerald, the San Diego defense somehow buckles their chin straps down even more and gets the ball back for their offense. You said it. I would get Maverick and KT Slayer. I would get them on paper as soon as possible and start building around those two front line members. I would get as many guys in the linebacking and secondary cores back as I could. And then, I would try and figure out which pieces of the offense help me and bring them back as well. I've always said, and this is a little key for anyone who, isn't around the league as often, longevity and keeping your players around is the key to success for SFL franchises. Those that turn over a lot of the players often see struggle. Those who are able to keep their players do well. As a longtime member of the league, Optimus Klein down on the field.
Yeah, Optimus. I was going to say Optimus Klein makes the grab and gets hit right there by Chris Stack. I don't know if they fell on him or he just got the wind knocked out of him. We'll have to see if we get the injury report on him later on this 4th quarter. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for San Diego. 2 for 12 on 3rd down here. As you see Javier Vasquez in the shotgun, has 5 wide receivers out on the field. Back to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws, and is deflected and almost intercepted again. This time it's Chris Stack with the pass deflection, and it's another 3-and-out for the San Diego offense.
And it looks like a 50XZ deep outs, and Stock has read that well. They're playing one-on-one on the outside, and you got to find a way to get those guys open in one-on-one, and it just does not work there, and that'll finish their drive out. Optimus Klein, 1 catch today, 7 yards, Gerald, and he gets hurt. That's unfortunate when one of your best players is only able to collect 1 football for you.
And he's been targeted 8 times, so that it's not a good ratio. And looks like they're coming after Domian, but he gets the punt away. Looks like a chance for a great return here, and they get to the San Diego 49-yard line. Final card weekend on Next Level Sports. Next Saturday, Next Level Sports and the SFL playoffs take center stage as 2 of the 4 wildcard matchups are on Next Level Sports. Coverage starts at 4:30 p.m. with the best teams, the best broadcasters, and the most exciting sim football of the year. Stay tuned to the SFL on social media at Simulationfl for matchups and kickoff times. The SFL on Next Level Sports. We put the fun in fantasy. You see a pass out there. 2nd and 3 is a nice little pass right there, and it goes again to Gavin Bouvette, his 3rd catch of the game.
Yeah, he's making an impact as a non-contract player, trying to play his way onto the roster for next year, and nice grab there. Nice grabs today on the outside. Hasn't dropped one either, I don't think, which is surprising. Usually, you catch 4 of them, you end up dropping 1 or 2, and look out.
Big run there, blowing the middle of the line open. The first time in the second half, I think Ezekiel Love goes for a big run. They seem to have him pretty well wrapped up here in the second half, but this time he breaks one big.
Yeah, and Love is known to do that, and that's, finesse backs, they don't break off consistent long runs, right? They're not 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 yard runs. It's more like 1, 2, 38, 3, 2. So you just have to be able to weather the storm, and Love is really doing a good job today of attacking them.
That's like the weather in Pennsylvania, those numbers. 1, 2, 38, 7. You got a delayed handoff, and look out.
There it is, 38.
Goes up in another big run here down to the San Diego 12-yard line. Ezekiel Love having a day. Now 32 carries for $146.
Yeah, nice counter play there, and with Truzman leading the way, I mean, that's easy money for this Portland team. And Mike Ryan comes over, makes another touchdown-saving tackle on the run, 2nd of the game for him, along with the pick. He is having a very good game from the safety position, a little bit quiet, but definitely one that San Diego would want to highlight as a key player on this defense.
Heyman is the second leading tackler behind Devin King. And first, they set up shop at the 12-yard line here. Another jump defensively. This time, I believe it was Devin King that is going to be called for the offsides here, and it's going to give Portland here a 1st and 5 at the 7. Oh, sorry, number 50. It was Joe Duncan, defensive end, 50, 58. That all looks the same to me, but this time it's Joe Duncan on the jump on the offsides. Second time the defensive line has jumped offsides for San Diego here, and it's going to bring up 1st and 5 at the 7. They can get a first down at the 2. Big set for Portland here. The run defense is coming up here. And he gets stopped just shy of the first down marker. 4-yard pickup there. 2nd and 1. This time it was 58. Kevin King there on the stop.
Yeah, nice run play here for Portland to continue to move the ball down the field and take time off the clock too as well. You know, they don't want to put the Mavericks through anything, strenuous. This game looks to be in hand, barring, a Music City Miracle or something of that sort. And Portland trying to be respectful and just run the clock out.
Snap coming here with 3 minutes to go. Another handoff. Love. And this time he stopped short of the line again as Carson Miller and Mike Ryan come up with a hit. Actually, he lost a yard on that run. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, stretch that one too far east-west, not enough north-south, did Love, and finesse backs known to do that sometimes. So if you are San Diego, buckle your chin straps here, 3rd and 2. See if you can get another stop.
We got an offset eye coming up here. Looks like they're looking for Ezekiel Love to get that football once again.
Oh, he's not even in.
He's not even in the ball game. And if they're looking for him, he's in trouble. They're going to come up here and they're going to stop him once again. This time it was, I believe, the backup full. Was it Kuzma that got the ball? Either way, it's a 4th down, and San Diego is going to hold him to a field goal again here at the 2-minute warning. Portland all over San Diego right now, 23-0. Watching the SFL on YouTube. Stay tuned. Two minutes on the clock here in the 4th quarter as David John coming out here to attempt the field goal here to make it a 26-0 ball game, and he does. Visit the all-new SFL League website on simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player and to join our community, to join the league, and the teams that play in it, links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the SFL, and it's over 1,500 games and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field, the SFL. We put the fan in fantasy as David John kicks the ball off here. Jacob Clear about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Brings it out here to the 20. Tries to string it to the outside and can't do it. And with $1:51 left to go here in the ball game, San Diego needs to at least get some points on the board to make it respectable.
Yeah, I would say, Gerald, with San Diego now going to be the first 0-12 team in SFL history, not the first winless team. We did play some shorter seasons back in the day, and Cleveland went 0-8. For San Diego, I'll say after this play.
And again, Javier Vasquez having to be a Houdini, gets past the first one, cannot get past the second. We'll have to get the number there on the side. I believe that was Robert Brower there.
Whoa.
And this time it's a deep pass. Going down the field. Can he break a tackle? And it's down inside the Portland 35 to the 32-yard line. The biggest play of the day for San Diego, and it's Connor Weston.
Man, against his former team. Nice route there on the deep post, able to break free and just one tackle away from really making them pay and showing them, hey, you should have kept me around here in Portland. But the thing I was going to say, Gerald, was for a team that, is going to go winless, the key is, immediately flip the switch, right? Start looking at season 17, after a minute and a half here when the game ends, right? Start working on your playbook for next year. Start figuring out which players you want to bring in the draft, right? Because you're going to have one of the highest picks, if not the top pick. So a lot of those things would help this San Diego team as they move down inside the 10. But, don't dwell on it too much, right? The key to a team that didn't win any games this season is how many can you win next season, right? Because if you flip it around and you go 12-0, people are going to turn their heads and go, you know what, last season might have been a fluke. So, you have all the opportunity in the world. And the key for you is not to dwell on what has happened in the past, the minute this game ends.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at if you're San Diego, look at your opponents. Portland's last year they were 2-10, and they've improved so it looks like it's going to be 5-7 this season. So, I mean, to be honest with you, there's nowhere to go but up here if you're a Mavericks fan or a member of the franchise. As Wells gets that ball, but it goes out of bounds. It's going to be second and goal at the 10.
And inherently, Gerald, there will be some players that leave this San Diego team, right? A lot of players in the league like to win, and that's just a reality of the SFL, right? And if you're the San Diego staff, you can't knock them for it, right? You had a tough year. The key is figuring out which players are here, which players are ride or die, and working and building around those players, right? The thing I've always said is if a player doesn't want to play for me, I don't want to have them.
And a touchdown. I believe that's Javier Vasquez. I believe that was Optimus Klein.
It was.
Came back in the ball game. You want to talk about hard. He gets hurt early in this fourth quarter, and you're basically 0-11. You could just say, call it in. But not Optimus Klein as he gets his first touchdown of the season, his 63rd of his career, and the goose egg comes off the board for San Diego. There's going to be an extra point attempt here for for Nick Cappuccino here, and it's now a 26-7 ball game.
Speaking, Gerald, of players that aren't going anywhere, Optimus Klein finds the end zone, and the owner of this franchise, and you have to tip your hat to him, right? Came in, took over, an expansion franchise, which is not easy to do, coming over from Florida. And Optimus Klein has done, look, they went 0-12, right? They've struggled to score this season as they do the onside kick here, and it's recovered by Portland. But Optimus Klein has put together a team there are some good players and good people on this roster. Stephen McMichael's great guy. Shea Carroll has been in the league a long time. Jalen Wells, great guy, has also been in the league a long time, right? Denzel Maverick came back. They've got guys like Devin King and Ron Hoff, along with Jacob Clear. They brought in good rookies in KT Slayer and Mike Ryan. They put together a really good team, including Javier Vasquez at the top at quarterback. And that's a credit to Optimus Klein and, what he's been able to do. And I have no doubt that when this game ends, they're going to go to work on fixing any areas that, may break or may be broken on this San Diego team. And I really look forward to seeing what they do in their sophomore season.
As this time, Denzel Maverick with the offside call. That's 3 of the 4 defensive linemen with an offside call. And I agree with you. I love to see what San Diego does the offseason. You're talking about Optimus Klein coming from Florida. If anybody knows how to win, it would be Optimus Klein coming from that successful franchise. Like I said, they might be just like 1 or 2 pieces off with coming in, and I just love to see what they could do on the carry here. And it goes for a gain of 4. It's like 4 or 4.5 as the backup Kevin Kine is in, giving Ezekiel Love the rest of the game off. And that's to say, like, both of these teams are going to come in. Portland's going to finish 5-7, like you said. San Diego 0-12. Coming into the sophomore season for San Diego, I think I'd love to see a little bit more of the running attack. as they're just going to take a knee here to get this clock wound down here with a $1.06 to go. I think they might have to run like maybe 2 more plays here. But for each of these teams, you have a lot of positives looking forward. You have some, like I said, great players on both squads. So nothing to hang your hat about if you go 0-12 here. You have some great teams in this league. And you actually did have the toughest strength of schedule in the league. Thank you for that, as we are a new team in the season. How about it?
Yeah, and for Portland, there's room to improve for them too, right? Didn't make the playoffs this season. I believe they are eliminated, barring something wild. So for them, right, they have some room to improve as well. They did double up their wins from their first season. If they could double up again, right, Gerald, and get to, 10 wins would be ridiculous, right? But if they could even get to 6 or 7 or 8, I think that's a playoff team for Portland. They're in a difficult division this season, right, with LA and Vancouver on top of them. But they do have a good opportunity, right? You can't discount San Diego getting better next year as they're going to send this field goal up. 50 yards. That's a huge one, Gerald.
50 yards there for David John, puts it to 29-7. And you're right, I mean, if you look at the growth of Portland from last year, they're scoring 8 more. They were exactly where San Diego was. They were 12.
Yes.
And they're 12.1. They were the dead last year in scoring. And they went up by 8 points. Their defense got better by 5. I mean, their rushing attack went from dead last to second. Their defense goes from down in the dumps to up to mid-pack. I mean, defensive touchdowns that they allowed. 16 rushing touchdowns and stuff like that. They've just got better, and that's really the blueprint that San Diego should look at.
Yeah, and Derek Majors is asking, why can't Portland win 10 games? And I apologize. My intention was not to make it seem like I didn't think they could. I am still chasing 10 wins with Vancouver in all the years I've been in the league. So it's not to say that Portland can't reach 10 wins. It would be very impressive. I would be significantly impressed if Portland doubled up from 5 to 10 wins. Not impossible, but definitely a tall task for any team, much less a team that is missing the playoffs and trying to improve. But, you hit it on the head, right? You have to find the spots of your team that are going to remain and the spots that you need to improve on, right? And for San Diego, there's plenty of spots that are highlights, right? KT Slayer played well. You had some other guys playing well today. Optimus Klein caught a touchdown. And you have some areas to improve. Same thing goes for Portland, right? You have Ezekiel Love, who's running all over everyone right now. And then you have some areas to improve, right? So that's the same for every franchise. Being honest, I've made the playoffs a few seasons in a row now. It's the same thing, right? Where am I good and where do I need to improve? And it's the same at the bottom as it is on the top. The only difference is for San Diego, there's plenty to improve on, right? And the only opportunity is to go up. For some teams, there is, ways to get worse, right? So you got to be smart about it. But the future ahead of both of these teams, I think, is very bright.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And you're talking about 10 wins. Right now, we only have one 10-win team in the league, and that's Denver. So, I mean, Florida possibly can get to 10, but 10 wins in a 12-game schedule is pretty impressive.
It's impressive,
no matter who you are. You see Vasquez step up and going for the bomb, and this one is intercepted. Bob Funk
look out.
Again with the interception, but it goes for a nice return. But at the end, it's all Portland as you see a 29-7 victory. Portland ends the season at home 5-7.
Yeah, a good game for Portland, defensive, offensive, right? They did their job on both sides of the football. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball pretty well, too, barring the one interception. I mean, look at this. Matt South steps up. Huge throw right on the sideline to Vandelay. And for San Diego, right, their defense played pretty well. But they do have an opportunity to improve heading in now to this offseason. Vasquez had some bad throws, had some good ones today. I really liked, honestly, Gerald, in that last one, even though it was a pick, I liked how confident he was stepping up and throwing the ball, right? He didn't show much hesitancy. He said, hey, I'm throwing this one as far as I can. If it gets picked, so be it. I like that from a quarterback, right? I'd rather them be confident than not. So, a good game had by both. Portland shows that in the second year, they know what they're doing. They get to 5 wins. Congratulations to them. Just a little bit on the outside looking in when it comes to playoffs, room to improve. But I would say they improved significantly here in their second season. And for San Diego, they get to go into their second season. And they saw some highlights today of some players they might want to keep around. And so the offseason starts today for both of these teams. I believe, I'm fairly certain that Portland is mathematically eliminated, but I don't want to disrespect them if they're not. But the offseason, for at least one of these teams starts today and gives them the opportunity to really build on what they saw this year.
Yeah, and if you're San Diego, I mean, you got to, really keep your defense intact. They only gave up really 1 touchdown. I mean, 5 field goals and the pick 6. Right there's 21 or 22 of your 29 points. The player of the game coming up is Ezekiel Love, 33 carries for $147 and a touchdown, had 5 receiving yards. That'll do it from Portland, Oregon. For Deuce Fennick in the truck, the stats keeping us abreast of what's going on. For Andy Hamilton and the commissioner, Cameron Irvine, back in the truck, I am Joe Giuseppe saying goodbye from Portland. The Fleet end season with a 29-7 win. Good night and see you later.